The characters and the experts I meet travelling around Britain's antique centres, auctions, shops and fairs never cease to amaze me. There's always something new to learn. And in this video, just a few minutes chat, an off-the-cuff chat with Alvin, a coin dealer. I caught up with him at Antiques on High in Somerset. We get to learn about the Victorian pennies and the difference between one worth £1 and one worth £17,000. And as you see, the difference between those two coins is minuscule. And if you don't have the knowledge, you'd miss it. And I can tell you, I would miss it. So thank you to Alvin. I've learned a lot from this video. Let me know what you think. Here we go. I'm going to introduce you at home to Alvin. Alvin is a coin dealer and I've caught up with him here at Antiques on High in Somerset, Taunton. Now, Alvin, you've got a plastic box of coins. Now, are these yours?
No, they're David's over there.
Okay, so what
He's
are you doing?
got a couple of thousand here, I think. They're all Victorian bun pennies.
Now, tell us what that means. A bung penny. What is a bung penny?
Well, that's a basic one to look at.
Let's have a look at that nice and tight. Okay, talk to me about that.
Yeah, in 1860, they decided to change the coins from a copper coinage to a bronze coinage.
Why did they do that?
Well, basically, the copper coins were too heavy in the pocket, and copper prices had soared up in price. Dave's got some copper ones over there, if you want to look at the size of them compared to them.
Okay, so they reduced the size and reduced the weight. Yeah. In what year did you say?
1860.
1860.
Yeah. But bronze is a lot harder than copper, and the dies didn't last very long in manufacturing them. And they ended up with many varieties, and some of them are very, very rare. As an example, an 1863 Slender 3, which is very narrow, sold in auction for £17,000, and it was really worn out as a coin, but it was very rare.
Wow. Okay, so you're hunting through this box of very inexpensive pennies, looking for the very
I'm looking for scarce ones, really, not the really rare ones. It's unlikely to find a really rare one, but there are other varieties like an 1865/3, where the die was an 1863 die, and it was changed to an 1865 to save the mint money.
Right. And
the 1865/3s are scarce, and they're worth, in low grade, £20–30 for me to sell.
Right.
And there's other dates which are scarce on their own, like 1869, which in low grades worth about £50–60.
Okay, now this is all very technical for anybody watching this who might be interested in starting a collection of coins. So what would your top tip be to anyone interested in starting to collect coins?
Well, if you're collecting them as a collector and you want to nice coins, I think. I started off with Victorian sixpences. They're pretty pricey though for a young collector. I would say probably silver threepenny bits are a good choice, because for budget wise you can get some nice ones for a few pounds. Tell
me about the coins you're looking at there and give me some examples of what they are and what they might be worth.
They're not worth hardly anything really. I'd probably sell them for £1 or £2, and Dave probably sell them to me for 50 pence or something.
Right. So this is worth £1 or £2?
No, retail, in my shop in the cabinet, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most I could get for it. Unless it's a rare variety.
Right.
As an example, 1875H is scarce, and I have found one in that pot over there. And it's probably worth about £20 for me to resell.
Okay, so for a Victorian penny, you can buy them for a pound or two.
Yes.
And top price?
The most expensive one I've ever sold was £1,600 for an uncirculated 1865/3. But as I said, in auction, I saw an 1863 Slender 3 sell for £17,000 or £18,000.
So it's all about that little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge is important.
Knowledge is vital, isn't it?
Yeah.
And knowledge comes, would you agree, with just interest? Because if you're interested in something, you naturally pick up the knowledge, don't you?
Well, you also buy specialist books as well. Like this one discusses bronze pennies,
Right.
and it goes into all the varieties and how to look for them. They're hard to understand, but you start off just with interest, and then you progress to studying about them to learn more about the varieties.
And that's what it's all about. It's the study and it's the learning, it's the thrill, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's where you start from anyway. And then, of course, at the end of the day, you want to make a little bit of money out of it.
Well, yeah, at the
As
end of the
a
day you
dealer.
do.
Yes.
Great to see you.
All right.